Love people and use money, never the other way around. Today's video, we're talking about charity. And it's not possible for me to talk about charity, love, generosity, and giving back without talking about God. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back everybody. It's Walt Marshall here with Buy and Live, where our focus is building wealth in real estate. In today's video, we are talking about charity. If you've been following the channel, you know that we are doing a Buy and Live budget challenge. And we're challenging our viewers just to go ahead and track your expenses. And then in another video, we'll update just how you begin budgeting. But first, it's easy. Just go ahead and just track your expenses. So financial planners, they recommend that you should give 10% of your discretionary income to charity. Discretionary basically means that after you've paid for basic housing, food, your transportation, anything that you have left over, that should, after basic needs, that should go to charity. Now, for our family, we're a little different because we believe that everything that we have, it comes from God. So we give 10% of whatever we earn. Whatever we make, we give 10%. And most of the time that goes to our church. In the past, it has gone to like charities, it's gone to like nonprofits, because sometimes we have not been members of a church, but we've always felt the need to give back. So that's our approach. And we also know there were times in my life where I didn't have any discretionary income and I had to take care of basic needs. That's understandable. I look at my time, talent, and treasure, just beyond just giving in a monetary sense. For me, I like to volunteer, like giving of myself, giving of my time. I don't have that much time on earth, and all the time that I have, I want to be a good steward of it. I want to manage my time well because I know that God has placed me here on earth to make a difference. So I try to make a difference as best as I can, and I know that I'm not going to live forever. And then my talent, God has given me talent. So I try to improve the talents that God has given me. And then, my treasure, I try to honor God with my treasure. And that's just just doing good deeds, using my money, using resources that God has allowed me to have, because I believe that God gives me the power and the ability to gain wealth. Charity is not always in a monetary sense. Charity can be done by just mowing your neighbor's yard or shoveling your neighbor's snow. Those are charitable deeds. Also, it could be just volunteering at a nonprofit, at your favorite nonprofit group. Another way to think of this charity column is just thinking of friends and family during life events. So if a friend or family member, if they have a baby or if they lose a loved one, or even a birthday, anniversary, wedding, there's a number of things that you can do to support those around you, and that will be from your charity column. And then of course it's always good, to have random acts of kindness, paying for groceries for the person in front of you. There was this man in front of me at the grocery store, and he had all this baby food, and I could tell that he was trying to figure out how much it was totaling. And I just said, I'm a father, I have a child at home, I had a newborn at home. I just went ahead and paid for the baby food. He was grateful. He wanted, just thank me. I just said, it's all right, just go ahead and thank God, I appreciate it. But it's not really me. God has given me the ability to do it. I'm grateful for it. So just random acts of kindness are always good to pay it forward. Charity keeps me humble before God, just knowing that everything that I have is not mine, it belongs to God, and I want to be a good steward of it. If I look at my life and just think, just being in the military, being in Iraq, knowing that I could have died in a war, and then just being back here, I could die any day. And I think about death more than I want to because of my past experiences. I look at my life and I just say that I'm grateful for every day that I have, and I want to use it to the best of God's glory, to honor God. So Bible verse here, I'm going to read a Bible verse. Haggai 1:6, is it time for you yourselves to live in expensive panel houses while this house lies in ruin? Now, therefore, says the Lord of hosts, consider your ways and thoughtfully reflect on your conduct. You have planted much, but you harvest little. You eat, but you do not have enough. You drink, but you do not have enough to even be intoxicated. You clothe yourselves, but no one is warm enough. And he who earns wages earns them just to put them in a bag with holes in them. Wow. I mean, like, for me, buy and live is about, like when I'm working on these houses, I'm thinking about just like, wow, like, I cannot build this house and not support, what God is doing in my local community and what God is doing, just abroad. Like, I want to support what God is doing. And then in the next verse, it comes from Deuteronomy, and that says, beware that you do not forget the Lord your God by failing to keep his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I am commanding you today. Otherwise, when you have eaten and are satisfied and have built good houses and lived in them, and when your herds and flocks multiply, and your silver and gold multiply, and all that you have increases, then your heart will become lifted up, prideful, self-conceit, and arrogant, and you will forget the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. He has led you through the great, terrible wilderness with its fiery serpents and scorpions and thirsty ground where there was no water. It was he who brought water for you out of a flinty rock. He fed you with manna in the wilderness, which your fathers did not know, so that he might humble you and that he might test you to do good things for you at the end. Otherwise, you may say in your heart, my power and my strength has made me this wealth. I never want to say that, but this is what it says. Verse 18, Deuteronomy 8:18. But you shall remember with profound respect the Lord your God, for it is he who is giving you the power to make wealth, that he may confirm his covenant, which he swore to your fathers as it is this day. That's a good verse for me. It's a really good verse for me. Just thinking like, all that I've been through, and just coming from where I came from, just knowing like, all that I have, I cannot look to myself and say that it was me who has built this wealth. What I've done is by the grace of God, and God has given me the power and the ability to make wealth. And I'm so grateful for the skills. I'm so grateful for the lineage, my family, my grandfather, my father, my uncles who have taught me. I have an uncle who's an electrician. I have an uncle who's a master builder, an uncle who's a mechanic. And my father is, he does landscaping. I am so fortunate to have been born in this family and to have the skills that I have. And it's like, it's a blessing from God. So I want to be faithful with the talents and the gifts that God has given me. So that's a lot for just this one column of charity. That's a whole lot to share in just this one column. But yeah, so it's great to give back, and that's why we give back. That's why we support the community around us. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe if you want to continue on our path in building wealth in real estate. Right now, we're just getting through this budget challenge, column by column. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video.